I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 90. Just a reminder before we start the show, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rattino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
You know what's going on? I basically just signed my life away. And I'll tell you why. I have pre-ordered every AAA title that is coming out this October 20th. I'm done, man. I'm done, man. Mario?
You was so serious. I thought you were going to say something serious.
It is serious. Come on, don't laugh.
I got a second mortgage out on my house.
Yeah,
man.
no. Look, Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins, Wolfenstein 2. Come on.
Oh my god.
Heavy hitters.
Oh my god. You know what? I commend you. You took the plunge. You took the plunge. The 27th. We already talked about it. 27th is going to be an awesome day in just pop culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did you end up getting yours? You got yours all locked down?
I of course, man. It's Mario Odyssey.
So, and we get that sweet Amazon discount, 20% off if you pre-order.
You do, and like listen, if you have Best Buy, you get the same thing.
You do if you're part of their rewards program. Was it like $30 a year?
$30 a year.
Oh,
you know where you don't get it?
Where's
that?
that?
You know where you don't get it?
GameStop. I knew it.
So I will go into the details of what I bought.
Mm-hmm.
What I pre-ordered next week when we do our buying guide, when we do our holiday buying guide. So, but I definitely got Mario Odyssey to get them out the way. Spoilers, I got Mario Odyssey. I pre-ordered that. Come on, how can you not pre-order that, right?
I know. I mean, it's going to be in contention for Game of the Year.
Already? Wow. Not even out.
It is. Well, I mean, we'll tease it a little bit. We do have some news about Mario Odyssey a little later in the show, so.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the news. I do want to talk about, before we actually start the show, I want to talk about something really sad. So I've been watching this guy on YouTube for a long time, lots of games.
Good dude. I've definitely seen some videos. You mentioned, he was in the news recently and he put out this video, and I watched a couple of his things, and he's great.
Well, he lives out in Napa Valley, so he's in Cali. He's a West Coast guy, and recently, they've had the fires over there and over there on the West Coast. They have like fires and earthquakes over there. I don't know if I can live on the West Coast.
It's bad news, man. Yeah,
we just have snow. I'll take the snow.
Yeah, it's snow and the occasional hurricane. That's it.
I'll take the snow, man. They got like these wildfires and earthquakes. I don't know. I don't know if I can live on the West Coast. Anyway, he lost his home and his whole collection.
Yeah.
More importantly, other than the collection, he lost his home. Like that's bananas. It got caught in the fire. Luckily, he said his wife and his oldest child weren't home, but he got up, got his dog, and got his youngest daughter, and they got out the house, and he's living in his parents' house right now.
Yeah, I mean, like the good news is, like, everybody's okay. Everybody got out all right. I guess that's kind of the bright side of the story.
He's alive, but I mean, he lost his house, he lost all his belongings, he lost his games. I mean, it's a sad story. So he has to rebuild.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I'm horrible at like sad stories. Like I never know what to say. It's never anything good to say.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I know. It's it's like tough, and this guy seemed like a really good dude. He has
Listen,
set up.
I love his buying guides. Like
Mhm.
he always has these, top 10 PS4 games or the cheapest PS4 games you can get
Mhm.
right now,
Mhm.
or and he even went old school. He went PS2, GameCube. So I've actually picked up a couple of games on his on his recommendations. So
Oh,
I
nice,
love his
nice.
videos. He will continue to make videos
Mhm.
with his cell phone. He was saving for months, and he brought a new camera, new equipment, built a new computer, and that's
Oh,
all. That's all gone.
oh. Well, if anybody wants to donate to the relief fund, check out lots of games on YouTube. Check out his video about what happened to his house and everything, because that has a GoFundMe link, so you can go there. He has a 10K goal. They've already got 7,500 dollars donated out of 10 grand of the
Nope.
GoFundMe.
More of that. They have 7,687.
Okay. Even better, even better. They still need a little more. We urge you guys to go there. If you can donate a couple bucks, you can donate anything. That'd be a nice thing to do.
I mean, this is beyond. First of all, this is beyond games. This is just $10,000 for just life, man. He
Yeah.
has to, he literally, they don't have any clothes. Like clothes, like everything is gone.
I know.
I couldn't imagine that. That's just a terrible situation. But I'm happy he's alive.
Let me go ahead and ask you a little quick question off the cuff, because I'm actually curious. If you had to, and knowing that your family, and if you had any pets or anything, like everybody was okay. If you had you had a minute to pack a suitcase and get out of the house, right? What would you take?
Man,
Out of everything. Like I'm talking like clothes, games,
it would have to be,
memories, keepsakes.
as much as I love my games, as much as I love my gadgets, laptop, monitors, TVs. I'm going for clothes, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I know my mom would probably she just go for pictures, clothes. All my pictures on on the cloud, so I don't have to worry about anything like that. I would say it would just be clothes, to be honest. Off the top of my head, I would think clothes. Like I need something to wear, and I don't want to be homeless butt naked, right? Or just the clothes that are on your back.
But you can get clothes again though, right? It's not a bad instinct to say like, hey, I need a bunch of clothes. I'm just gonna grab some shit and I'll be good for like a week. It's not a bad idea, but
Well, if you run out without clothes, you really only have the clothes that are on your back.
Yeah. Well, then you just go out to the the Gap or Target or wherever, and Old Navy, and you buy some new clothes on the cheap.
Yeah, I would be worried about buying a new house.
There's that too. Yeah, there's that too. I mean,
what about you? What would you have to grab?
Like, if it were me, like I hear what you're saying about all the pictures in the clouds and all that, but
you would take all your Final Fantasy figurines. You would just take your arm and swish them all into a bag.
Well, I was actually thinking about that. What Final Fantasy thing would I take? I think I would probably take two.
I know you so well.
I would probably take two gaming items. I would take my inbox Japanese Final Fantasy VI, which I didn't actually pay a lot for it, and it's not too hard to get, but it does hold a good place in my heart, so I want to take it. So I'd probably take that and take the framed Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker poster signed by Kojima. I would take those two things, and then I would go for...
It's a long 60 seconds, man.
I would go for the memories. Well, I know exactly where they are. I just got to run in the office, pick up the poster, right? It's framed. It's all ready to go over the shoulder. Game goes in the suitcase, right? That's facing out and whatever, ready to go. And then I'm actually going to go for the pictures because My family is very they're very old school, and my dad was big into cameras. You know, he still is. He's got like black and white cameras, and he used to take some really good photos. He'd always have like a black and white camera he would carry around with the little light meter and all that. And I have like a good stack of photos and a couple of albums of stuff. I'd grab that and maybe like a hoodie, and then I'm out the door.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Dave,
Go ahead.
you just got out the shower.
Oh, come on.
I'll give you an extra 30 seconds. You have a minute 30.
Well, I would put on. All right, I would put on, and I would run upstairs. I would get my favorite pair of jeans, the super comfy ones.
This is a long 90 seconds, man.
You just appended a whole nother thing to it, right? Look. I put the jeans on. I grab a t-shirt, shoes, and the hoodie, right? You notice I didn't say underwear. It's too much time. You don't need them, right? The jeans are enough.
Socks.
You don't need socks either. You put the shoes on. I get the comfy pair of shoes, the comfy pair of pants, t-shirt, hoodie, out the door, and I can still do it all in 60 seconds. Okay. I know where the photos are. I know where the frame poster is, and I know where the Final Fantasy VI is.
It'll take you 30 seconds just to run upstairs into your master bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and this is obviously assuming that we're not panicking and freaking out. You know, it's like we have a clear head. We can think about it.
You gave me 1 minute. You said I had a minute. You didn't.
Well, you had a minute to get out the house. Yes.
Yeah.
A minute to get out the house.
All right. But anyway, all serious note. I wish him the best. He needs to rebuild his life, and I would say donate to the GoFundMe right now. Yeah. Let's help him meet his goal. We're gonna post something up on all our social medias about this. Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's take this from a sad note to a happy note. Mm-hmm. I saw the Star Wars Last Jedi trailer.
Hell yeah, same here. Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Big Star Wars fan. Oh man,
both of us, yeah.
Listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do when The Last Jedi comes out. We're gonna do a show dedicated to The Last Jedi. That's what we're gonna do. We did it for Batman v Superman.
Yeah, and that wasn't even that great a movie.
And that movie
it's all right.
If you watch the director's cut with all the deleted scenes, it kind of makes more sense. It just makes it even longer.
Yeah. It's true. It pieces everything together. You need that extra half an hour.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna do a dedicated show to Star Wars Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. I watched the I didn't watch all of the trailer. Let me not say I watched the trailer. I didn't watch all of the trailer.
Okay. 2 minutes was too long for you?
2 minutes was too long. I usually don't care if people spoil things because, you know, like movies or video games. I don't really care about that. You can tell me what happens because I want to play it or watch it for myself.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch any of the trailers for The Last Jedi. I just want to watch the movie.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you're already invested. You're hyped, obviously. You know.
I am super hyped.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go with The Last Jedi.
And, you know, it's safe to say that you were a big fan of 7, right?
I am a big fan of 7.
Okay. Because I know some people weren't. They're like, oh, it's just episode 4 again, right? It's all the like, oh, here's the Millennium Falcon, and here's Han Solo again. I'm like, no, it was a good movie.
You know what? Episode 4 was awesome. So, You know what? If they want to redo episode 4 for modern times and then just put a 7 on it, it was awesime.
But like,
I just wish Luke and Hans could have had a scene together, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not glad that he died, but I'm glad.
Spoilers! Wait, whoa! Spoilers!
The movie's been out for like 3 years already. All right.
Who died? I don't know who died. I don't know who died. Who died? I don't know who died.
All right, sorry. Spoilers. We'll have to pre-pen this, Mister. I don't care about anything, but this you're gonna throw your red flag up about. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Sorry. Spoilers. Han dies in an epic scene on the Starkiller base, right? As the sun is going down or whatever it is, and you know he's the the light turns from blue to red, and the anger and the dark side takes over him. He stabs his father and knocks him off the bridge. Han is dead.
Well,
but it was good because like most superhero style movies, epic, big budget blockbusters, they won't do that. They won't kill off a character, right? Because it doesn't feel good. You know, nobody felt good after Han died, but I was like, yeah, that's art right there. That's like a gripping scene.
I want to know how they're gonna handle Leia, who is really dead in real life.
Yeah.
How are they gonna handle the end of her character?
Yeah. R.I.P. Carrie Fisher. I think most of her stuff was recorded already.
No, she was done.
Exactly.
She was done, but she was slated to be in
episode 9.
Yes. So
yeah.
Obviously she won't be in episode 9. So I kind of want to know how they're gonna,
Yeah,
send her off.
they haven't started on production on episode 9 yet, right?
No, they haven't
filming. But, so Well,
they're still trying to knock down a script, but
yeah.
I want to know how. I want to know, are they gonna kill Leia off like they kill Han, or are they gonna make her go out to the sunset?
Maybe. I honestly hope if they are gonna do anything like that, do it off camera. They probably amended the end of episode. They had to have amended the end of episode 8 so that it would tie in better to 9, and the fact that she's not in 9, right? There was some reports saying she was gonna be CG and whatever else. None of that's true. She's not in episode 9 unless there's like a flashback or some other footage that they're gonna piece together, maybe. But I would rather not have her die on camera. Personally.
It would make. Listen, if they had her die on camera, well, obviously she couldn't die on camera because she didn't die in the original script. So it would have to be like something like a bomb goes off, right, and it's made clear that she was there, right? Mm-hmm. So it have to be something like that. I wouldn't mind that. And then they say at the end, like, she, was connected to the Force, right? And she's with her father, right? In the Force, something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. Or they probably gonna. I don't know how you sent her off, never to be seen again.
Right. Because she was obviously integral to episode 7 and integral to episode 8, as we know, and was supposed to be in 9. So like eighth plot kind of leads up to her being in 9. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting.
I can see what Fast and Furious with Paul Walker, where it's like, hey, look, we're living a life of crime. You got a family to support, man. Yeah. You got. We're gonna leave you out of this, homie. Mm-hmm. You got a baby now. Mm-hmm. We're gonna leave you out of this.
Yeah.
All right. I just don't see how Leia, who was an integral part, she's like the leader of the resistance, right? So how does she go away, right? So I wouldn't mind if they killed her off. They would just have to say she's a part of the Force now, and maybe. At the end of episode 9, you see Anakin, Yoda, Samuel L. Jackson,
Obi-Wan, right? Yeah.
Obi-Wan, and then obviously a CG hologram of Carrie Fisher, right, of Leia. So that's what I would do, but that's just me. Anyway, Dave, as we always try to start the show and miserably fail, what have you been playing lately?
Well, you know what I've been playing, because the best game of all time is out.
Super Mario World? Super Mario World? You've been playing Super Mario World?
Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo on the SNES Classic. Still rocking that game. And
you haven't beaten that yet?
I haven't beaten that. Game is long, man, and I want to take my time with it. I want to do everything in the game. I'm in no rush to beat it. I've already beaten it like 30 times already, I'm good. I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying myself, getting everything. So that and Fire Emblem Fates. Is it Fates? Yeah, Fire Emblem Fates Birthright for 3DS, which I'm pretty close to the end, I think.
Wait, where are you playing that on?
The 3DS.
You got a new 3DS?
I have a backup 3DS that I got a couple weeks ago from that from that lady on the street.
The
big haul.
That's
So-
right. You did pick. That's right. You did pick that.
I'm
up.
rocking
I
a
forgot about
pink
that. I forgot
OG
about that.
3DS, and I don't give two shits who knows.
You take it. Wait. Did you take that with you?
Yeah, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't care.
Is he tape on a train with a pink
care.
3DS?
I mean, the funny thing is,
You know what?
like
I'm gonna get you a 3DS Hello Kitty.
that's fine.
cover.
I'll rock that. I'll rock that too, man. I'll put that on display, baby. I am upset because I never actually had the OG Xbox. I got the new 3DS XL, right? I got that one brand new for like $200 when it ended up coming out, and that was my first 3DS. I never had the OG one, and I went back to play the OG one. It is completely different. The case is different. The cartridge slot is in a different spot. It's considerably smaller. The 3D tracking isn't as good. Like, it's a world of difference. It's a world of difference.
Wow,
crazy.
that's.
But yeah.
I'm still going on the image of you playing the pink. 3DS
Listen. Nobody can say I'm not a gamer. All right, right there.
You know what? No one can challenge your gaming
Thank
cred,
you.
man.
Thank
You are a true GMG.
Oh, I'll take it. So, I want to know what you've been playing actually, because my game load's been a little bit light.
I've been playing a lot of stuff. So
Mhm.
I've been playing the best game ever made in the whole entire galaxy. Okay, Super Mario World on my SNES Classic.
Right.
I'm almost done with this game. I'm like 80. I would say like 85% complete.
Nice.
So I've already made it to Bowser's Castle, but I haven't gone in yet because I'm going back to like get all the secrets.
Yep. You want to do Star Road and Special Road and all that
I did
stuff.
well. Yeah, I already did Star Road. I'm gonna do Special Road,
Mhm.
and I'm just trying to get all the secrets, get all the blocks out,
Yeah.
or whatever. So, but yeah, I've cleared most of the game. So I've been playing that.
Yeah. I mean, it's classic. It holds up.
I've been playing Pokken Tournament for the Switch. I'm sort of addicted to that game.
Pokken DX, baby.
I've been playing the heck out of that game.
I'm assuming by now you put more hours in this version than the 3DS version, or I'm sorry, the Wii U version.
Not yet. No, not yet. I played.
Oh,
lot,
really?
I played
Okay.
a lot of Pokken Tournament. I was, because I beat a lot of the tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sort of like I was like 52-0.
Oh damn!
So I was like sort of like 50. I know I was in the 50s. I'm like 50 something and 0.
Mhm.
Right now on the Switch I'm like in the 30s. I'm like 31 and 0.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Look at that.
So I've been playing a lot of that.
Defeated.
So I've been playing Ghostbusters on the PS3.
Jeez, there you go. Throwback.
Now I gotta say, this is the Ghostbusters 3, the movie that we never got. Like,
Yeah.
the cutscenes alone are awesome because I mean, all these guys, all the original the original cast voiced their characters on this game.
Yeah,
And it was
they managed to get Bill Murray in there.
Yes, it was written by Dan Aykroyd. So this is sort of what he wanted for
Third movie.
Ghostbusters 3, the
Yeah.
third movie. So, and you play as a new recruit, and they're pretty much showing you the ropes of how to be a Ghostbuster.
Mhm.
And it feels just like I feel like a Ghostbuster. Like, I'm like searching for ghosts, and I have my proton pack and stuff.
Mhm.
I just started it, so I haven't got too much into it. I think maybe I put like an hour into it so far. It's awesome. I got to finish this game. So
Yeah.
I saw Cinemassacre when James played it. I watched his sort of review of it. Like, I think he did it like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
So I went back before I started playing. I watched his review of it. Awesome. They go to essentially they go to hell too. Like, I got to play this game. I want to. This is like top priority.
Right? Any game
It's
where you
top
go to hell
priority
is
list.
great. Doom, Ghostbusters.
So
Can't beat it.
never thought I would hear Ghostbusters and Doom in the same sentence. But yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Earthworm Jim, I think, goes to hell at one point.
In what game?
I think
Earthworm Jim
he
goes
did
to
the
hell?
first one. They only made 2. Well, technically 3, but who played 3D?
Yeah. Wow. It was there Earthworm Jim game for 360. I could have sworn it was.
No, I don't think there's been anything recent. There was a remaster, I think, of the first one, but
Really?
that's it. Yeah,
Was that on the 360 though?
probably. Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure it was that era.
So Earthworm Jim, Ghostbusters, and Doom all in the same sentence. All right. Also, I got to get my TT games in, man. Yeah, get
Always.
my TT games.
Oh, you love those easy achievements. Let me tell you.
I love getting me some easy platinums, man.
Right? Explore all dialogue trees. Sure. Gold. Nice.
My only 2 platinums
are the 2 TT games.
Or my
Well, what is it?
My Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us?
Well, no, Walking Dead 1 and Walking Dead 3.
Oh, God. 2 was too hard for you?
No, I got full Xbox achievements for Walking Dead 2.
That's funny.
I missed one or 2 dialogues in Wolf Among Us to get a platinum. I missed 1 or 2, and I'm not gonna play the game over again.
Right.
I should though. It's an easy platinum. So I've been playing Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was episode 3 or 4. I think it's episode 3 or 4. I forgot.
They're doing. No, I think they're doing 5 of those. Is that it?
5 or 6. Yeah, I lost count. I did as soon as it came out. I finished it in one go around. I will say spoilers, minor spoilers. I'm not going to spoil the game. Minor spoilers. You can lose some Guardians. Your decisions the decisions you make. You can lose some Guardians.
Wow. R.I.P. Rocket. I'm just assuming. I don't know.
Not going to tell you who I lost because I'm assuming I can get them back.
You would assume, there's only so many Guardians.
Just on the premise of the game,
right?
If you play the game, there is a thing that brings people back to life. Judging on your decisions, but you can lose some Guardians from what I hear. I actually want to replay the episode because I did not know that. So, and lastly, I've been playing Telltale's Batman Season 2. So I flew through episode 1 and 2. Gotta say, fantastic. They pretty much they have their free range to do what they want, right? They don't have to follow a comic book or a movie, which is great. People said episode 2 is pretty much mediocre, like the worst. Usually they say that about episode 4 before it gets to the finale, episode 5 or 6. But Ryan McCaffrey, who I respect, he's the Xbox guy at IGN. He gave episode 2 a 5, mediocre.
Out of 10.
Out of 10, yes. It was a little slow. I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. I like the spin on this season. This season is about the Joker finding himself. Right? He made a cameo in season 1. John Doe. He is still John Doe in season 2. But the twist that they're going for is, the Joker is just like that friend, that annoying friend you can't get rid of.
Oh, I see. And then something happens and he kind of turns a little twisted.
Well, he's twisted, but he's sort of finding himself, right? So he doesn't hate everybody. He's just that weird person that's kind of, he was in Arkham, so he was crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, but he's not the Joe. He's just John Doe. So, we'll see. So I like it. I don't. It's a little. Episode 2 is a little slow, but I kind of like it. I really did.
So it gets the Dan Robinson seal of approval then.
Yeah. Again, I played the TT games with the lady, and she liked it too. She thought it was great.
Oh,
so
look at you guys gaming together.
That's what we do. We do the TT games, baby.
Nice.
I let her make the decisions unless she wants to go crazy.
Yeah, right.
Push him off. Push him
off. Yeah.
Push him off the car. I'm like,
He's
no,
like,
that's not what Batman would do. No, why would you say that? I'm not doing that. Be reasonable. Anyway, and also, lastly, I've been playing Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
Oh yes.
Now,
the sequel to like the best game of 2014, or one of 2015. 2015, I think.
14. It was 14.
Was it 14?
It was 14.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say Dragon Age Inquisition would have been my best game that year. I agree with IGN.
Dragon Age also good. Yeah. Alien Isolation came out that year. It was a good year.
Definitely wouldn't give Alien Isolation in the running, but that's me.
You're insane. You're
just
Nancy
me.
boy.
Whatever.
handle the jump scares. Ugh.
You and your spooky games, whatever.
It's so atmospheric. It's great. Anyway,
The only man that would want to play that in VR.
hell yeah. Dude.
All right, let's get into our review roundup. So I've been playing Middle of Shadow War. I think, to steal a phrase from Dave, fantastic. I'm really digging it.
Yeah.
I put in like 3 hours so far. I've been playing it sort of like when I get home from work. As a Metacritic score, well, the PS4 version has a Metacritic score of 86. Xbox One version has a Metacritic score of 83, and the PC version has a Metacritic score of 81. So
they're all about the same range, yeah.
Yeah, just go through some of the different reviews. IGN gave it a 90, GameSpot gave it a 70, PlayStation Life gave it a 95, Game Informer gave it a 95. They have a Raven review. Games Radar gave it a 90, Xbox Achievements gave it an 85. What was it, GameStar? I've never even heard of this place. They give it an 86. US Gamer gave it an 80. But there were some
PC Gamer gave it a 73. Let's not forget.
Well, I'm not done. I was saying some outlets sort of scored it on the low. Like I said, GameSpot gave it a 70, Polygon gave it a 75, and PC Gamer gave it a 73. A lot of what people are saying about this game are the loot boxes.
Yeah.
Now, even a Dreamcast guy who's a YouTuber that I found like a month ago really enjoys some of his work. I think he gave it a score of like an 8 or something like that, and he really dinged it. He gave it a big ding because of the loot boxes. I will say this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to know your thoughts on everything.
Here's the thing. I've played the game for 3 hours. Fantastic game. Love the game. Not much. I'm not really into the whole Lord of the Rings lore. So that really doesn't matter to me. Just the gameplay, right? I love fighting the orcs. I did lose one. I played 3 hours straight, and then I finally lost. And I was like, I gotta take a break. And then this guy became, he became a captain because he beat me.
Right. They like bring back the whole Nemesis system.
Yeah, Nemesis system. Yeah,
which is maybe if you want to speak real quick on that.
Well, listen, the Nemesis system was a fantastic idea. Sort of, like it's pretty much how we're like you're fighting an org, and if you lose, that guy gets stronger, right? And he gets, isn't it like he gets stronger and he
moves up in the ranks? Like
he moves up in the ranks, and you have to find a different way, like to beat him, right?
Yeah, and then if you take out the king, then like that spot is open, like the master war chief Uruk-hai or whatever, right? And you take that guy out, well, that means there's a spot open, and then people will fight. The orcs will fight among themselves and try and vie for that spot, and they'll kind of like move up the chain and whatnot. Like it's really interesting. And then the other thing too that they like brought back from the first one is that like if somebody kills you and then you go back and find that guy again, he will say dialogue related to your last battle, which is like awesome. Like there's some sort of permanence to the world.
So I like the game. I have zero issue with loot boxes. Well, at least in this game. I don't want to say in general. And this is why. You don't have to buy them. They are optional. I guess if you want certain things, you're really going to have to farm for it. I mean, there's nothing in the game. There's nothing you can buy that you can't get in the game.
Well, okay. Right. Okay.
So, it is totally optional. I'm not playing any multiplayer. Okay? So let me get this out the way. So that, I'm not fighting against anybody online. So loot boxes like in Destiny and stuff like that don't mean anything to me because I'm not going to play against anybody online.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can see people's argument against loot boxes, right?
If I'm playing you head on head, right? Me and you have a match to get head to head, and you leveled up because you paid to level up. I can see the point of being mad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it gives the other player an unfair advantage just by spending more than the other person, right? And beyond that, like if you want to make a comparison to like the free to play games, Candy Crush, right? You can legit beat or get to the last available level in Candy Crush, which they're always putting new levels out. I don't understand it. But you can get all the way to the end and spend $0, right? Because you get X amount of turns to play per day, X amount of bonuses, and this and that, and you can, you do a specific daily achievement, you can get bonuses and whatever. But it comes to a point where you're gonna run out of chances to play, right? You can wait the day, or you can spend more money, right? Wherein if the game was like $5, right, you just paid up front and then you got the whole entire game, you would have unlimited chances to do that, right? So here's a game where you're paying $60 minimum for this like brand new game, and then there's content in the game that you can get without paying money, but they make you grind for it, right? And I don't think the grind would be as bad if they didn't have the loot boxes, right? Because then there's no incentive for you to buy it.
Well, here's the argument. Here's the argument on the developer side. Right. The cost of all of these AAA games has skyrocketed, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But the price of the game has stayed the same for the last 10, 15 years, 60. Okay.
Well,
so,
I wouldn't say 15 years. It went up. Okay.
Well, 10 years. 10 years.
It went up whenever the 360 came out. So 2005.
Oh, 2005. So
2005 is when the price went up to $60.
12 years. So for 12 years, the price has stayed the same, $60. So you can either, how about this? How about you spend $110 for the game, 0 loot boxes?
I mean,
they got to make their money somehow. You want
but loot boxes shouldn't have any gameplay performance enhancing items in there. They should be all cosmetic and whatever else and all that stuff. I think I hear what you're saying and I hear what the devs are saying, but it ruins the game.
Okay, it ruins the game for who? Like, I'm playing.
Obviously, all these reviewers and all these YouTubers are upset.
I'm playing Middle Earth Shadow of War, right? And I'm playing the single player campaign. I'm not doing any multiplayer. Let me make that crystal clear. I'm not playing any multiplayer. Just single player. I don't even know if there is multiplayer in Shadow of War. Is there? I would assume so. But I don't care about multiplayer.
So. Right.
Right.
Sure.
So I got a lot of games to play. Mario's coming out, right? So if I want to see the ending of Middle Earth Shadow of War and I buy it, how does that hurt you if you didn't buy it? Right? Like,
well,
if it doesn't hurt you,
okay, but
listen, Mega Man wasn't, like I was bad at the Mega Man games growing up. I'd love to have like a loot box. I would have paid for a loot box just so I can beat Mega Man and see the ending.
With what money?
But that's
money?
My mom's money. But that's just me. And if I did that, you don't have to. You can, go through the whole game yourself. That's you.
Okay.
If someone wants to pay to beat the game, I'm totally fine with that. I don't care. It's not going to affect me.
I hear what you're saying, but you also did say, I don't have time. Mario's coming out soon, right? So your argument is, well, I could just pay $5 and get all the stuff I would have to grind for, right? My argument is, if you didn't have the loot boxes in there, they wouldn't make it so
you would still have to. No, you would still. It
wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't be as bad.
No,
they
would still
artificially make it even tougher so that it makes spending $5 worthwhile.
You don't know that though. Maybe
they do though.
Maybe
they
make it. Maybe they make it tougher.
That's the whole mechanic. That's the whole mechanic.
Maybe the game was tougher to begin with, and they said, "Hey, well, we can always make it easier."
I disagree. Like I hear what you're saying, but it affects the gameplay, and that I don't know. It irks me.
I don't know why it irks you so bad. Listen,
because
it's just like in Super Mario. It's like in Super Mario.
It affects the game, which means it affects me, even though I'm not paying money for it. It affects the development, and it affects the overall gameplay. It affects the flow of the game.
You guys get mad for no reason. It's like Super Mario World.
No.
Listen, I'm not done talking.
Completely warranted.
No. Listen, Super Mario World 3D, right? 3D Land or whatever it's called. People get so mad that if you die like I don't know a certain amount of times,
right? They give you like this.
They give you a star.
Yeah. Well,
right.
they give you the suit. They give you the white.
They give you the suit, so you can get through the stage easier, right? Even though you can still fall off the level and die.
Exactly.
People get so mad over that. Listen, don't get the suit. You can. It's optional. It pops out, and you cannot take it.
But like it's so tempting. Tell the alcoholic, oh, there's a beer at the end of the table. Don't drink it.
How old is this guy?
Of course you're gonna get it.
How old is this guy?
What guy? I don't know. He's old enough to drink.
Then he's a grown man. If he wants to drink, he can drink as long as he's not driving. That's up to him. Listen, don't take the suit. Don't buy the loot box. It's there not for you.
We're gonna go ahead and be
for other people.
We're gonna be.
There are no odds.
There is because we're obviously on two sides of the coin.
Don't have to get it.
I'm trying. Okay, wait. I'm just trying to be civil. I understand your side of the coin. I don't like it though, personally.
I don't care. Well, I mean,
obviously not.
Not your point. Not your point. I don't care about the loot boxes.
Right.
So if there was a switch, so I wouldn't have to see it, I would do it because I don't care. And if it's there for somebody else, then that's fine. It's all in. Listen, if it's all about choice, we're in a point now that gamers have choices, and you can choose not to take it.
I can choose not to buy the game, and then there they go.
And then 900,000 other people will buy the game, and out of that, maybe 100,000 will buy loot boxes.
If it gets super egregious, people will stray away.
But what's egregious though? What's egregious? What's your definition of egregious?
Well, okay, this isn't that bad, but what about an Assassin's Creed Unity? When you go around, you go, oh hey, look, here's a chest. Here's some things to do to open this chest. So you spend all this time in the game to unlock this chest, and then as soon as you unlock this chest, you go, oh, you don't have the DLC? Here, buy the DLC, and then you'll get this thing. It was.
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
that's
different.
Same thing. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But that's the extreme of that, and that's not even the extreme. It could even get worse than that. So that's all right. Fine. The Shadow of War thing. Maybe not that bad.
Well, that's different. You had to grind. No, but that's different. You had to grind just to open the chest to find out you need the DLC. It's bad. It's just a heightened version of that. Yeah. If they would have just never shown you the chest, and you would never see that unless you got the DLC.
Or if you knew there's DLC content in here, if you just knew ahead of time, be like, all right, then I'm not going to deal with that chest.
But that's, like I said, that's different. In my view, that's different because you had to do all that grinding just to open it, and that's ridiculous.
Right.
Just for no payoff at all.
Yeah.
Like that's horrible. That's
right. At least in Shadow of War, you can take the easy route, or you can go ahead and grind for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that's all I'm saying. You don't have to, right? You don't have to. You can grind or you cannot grind. It's just like playing NES games. You can grind to get those lives and missiles.
You sound like a TLC song from the 90s. You can grind or you can not grind.
You can grind.
We should put a soft bed of R&B music behind this.
I only want grimers.
You can grind or not grind. No,
don't quit your day job.
Come on. Don't quit your
That's
hot. You can grind or not grind.
Oh no! Are you gonna put music to this when you actually post this up?
I don't know. Anyway.
All right. So, all right.
You can grind or not grind. Sorry.
All right. So, what are you getting? All right. I got to really back in to get this back on track. All right.
Yeah.
Dave, you get any good pickups?
No, did I get any good pickups? I'm gonna go ahead and let you go first because I'm looking at the list here in the show notes, and you have got a ton of games, and I want to hear about the pickups.
I got a ton of games.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, I've been looking for a PS3 Slim for a while now. the second model of the PS3. I have the OG model, and I have the last model, version 3, the cheap plastic model with the sliding door. So I've been looking for the second model for a long time for a good price. You can still buy it at GameStop for like $130.
Yeah,
I found
it's
it
still pricey.
still pricey, so I found it.
It's a little bit.
I lost.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit less than an OG PS4, right?
That is about $100. Yeah, about $100 less. So I've been looking. I've lost a few bids on the line, but I won one finally for a good price. Definitely under $100.
Nice.
So I got that. So I got the new PS3 Slim, which is this is how I started playing Ghostbusters. I wanted to test the system out first, and I popped in Ghostbusters, and I just played it. I just played it straight for a couple hours. So I got Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden, depending on who you are, 3 for the NES in box.
Ooh, that is a pricey game and an awesome compilation.
No manual. It's the only thing that's missing. I need to go buy a manual. Then I have it complete.
Got to be on the lookout.
Got to be on the lookout for a manual for part 3. So I have 1, 2, and 3.
Nice
for the NES. I got Super Smash Brothers, the Super Smash Brothers controller bundle for the Wii U.
Oh yeah, super nice. You got the little adapter too. You can just.
I got the adapter. I got the adapter and I got the controller.
Same.
And I got the bundle, so I have the pretty much the whole box. It didn't come with a game, but I already had the game, so it doesn't matter. I got Skeleton Crew for Genesis. I got one of my favorite games from the PS1 era, Parappa the Rapper. I know you don't like it.
I'll reserve my rant on Parappa the Rapper for another day. It certainly holds a place in gaming history. And it was like of that era when like PlayStation could do no wrong and they were super cool. So I respect it in certain ways. But I don't know. The gameplay is a little lacking in my opinion. That's all I'll say.
I mean, you can rap off beat. She pushed a button.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how those game mechanics work.
So
I've beaten that game and I still don't know how it works.
So Wipeout, one of your favorite series. I got Wipeout XL for PS1.
That's like legit. That possibly may be the best one of the series, Wipeout XL.
I've never heard of what is this? Tattoo Legends Power Up.
Taito.
So I found it in one of my garage sale pickups. I found part 2 for PS2.
Yeah.
So I had to go pick up part 1 for the PSP. I got everyone's favorite Ridge Racer.
Nice.
For PSP as well. I had to say that way. I got the All Pro Football for Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, this is they made a couple of these. I really wish this took off. Right?
Oh, this was sort of like challenging because pretty much I think EA has like.
Well, EA has the license to the
rights,
NFL.
The license for the NFL for
Right.
for the Madden games, right? So this is like they're competing to do like another football game. But
and they were able to get they got like Jerry Rice and a bunch of like old retired football players.
Yeah,
they got
no
their
teams.
license and likenesses. Yeah, it's all made up stuff,
Yeah. I heard it was really good. I mean, I saw it for like $1.
It's made by I think it was made by the same guys who did the 2K series.
Well, they were making, because I think they had a license too. They were making like 2K football games or like in the Dreamcast era.
Yeah, they were up until 2K 2005. With the ESPN license, and they sold it for $20, and they couldn't compete. And then EA snatched the license up, and that was that.
So we got that. I picked up that. I picked up Tetris Attack for SNES.
Classic. Yeah, sadly missing from the SNES Classic.
I know you're a big Tetris guy. You're a big Tetris fan.
I mean it's a solid. It's not Tetris, but it is a very good puzzle game.
I picked up Rystar for the Genesis. I got Gargoyles for the Genesis. I picked up some Gunboat for TurboGrafx.
I know nothing about this game.
I know that makes two of us.
I'm assuming you got it for a good price.
Yeah, it was like $10, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did wanted to bolster my my TurboGrafx. I have a small collection, not a big. I got like 14, 15 games.
Sure. That's
So modest.
14,
I have a modest
more
collection.
than I have.
I have a modest collection of TurboGrafx games. As you know, I've been playing the Batman TT game already. I picked that up. I also picked up Minecraft Story Mode but season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity Rush 2 for PS4. That's finally cheap. It came out earlier this year. It's finally pretty cheap.
Now it's like $20, I guess.
Like $25. Yeah,
25. Okay.
And then I had to because I thought my gray Joy-Cons on my Switch were kind of loose on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
When I undock it, it feels kind of loose. Doesn't feel like firm and stiff on there. It's a little loose.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up some new Joy-Cons, the neon colors, red and red and blue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's sort of that red is more like pink or pink orange.
Yeah, it's like a neon red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright. Yeah.
And I gotta say, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
I wanted those, but you could only get the gray ones, or I was only able to get the gray ones.
The neon colors were sold out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I got some pickups. I picked up a bunch of stuff. Next week, I got to tell you, I picked up something. It didn't come yet, so it doesn't officially count. But next week, I picked up something special for free, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty impressive. Much respect to the pickups this week. I have a quick little story, which kind of leads into the crown jewel of the weekend. And if you follow our Instagram account, you know already the game that I picked up. But I was talking with you about going out to Queens. There's a guy in Queens. I looked him up on Craigslist or whatever, and he had like some Xbox games and some PC games, like original OG Xbox and PC games, and they were commons more or less, but he had some decent stuff, and I'm like, I was thinking about going, and you're like, I don't know, I kind of have a lot of those games already, I don't really want to go, and I got up, and it was a late start to the day, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go, because I had plans later in the evening. Doing some graveyard thing with a couple other friends and my girl, and we kind of had to be there at a certain time, so I only had so much time in the day to kind of go out and travel around, and this would have been like real far out in Queens, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go. So I got up, showered, out the door into the city, and I was heading through the city to transfer over to go to Queens. I called an audible on the day, and it was the best move I ever made, because found an inbox like mint complete missed for the PC, and like, I mean, I guess I probably would have stopped regardless, but I mean, I ended up going to the Goodwill over in the Village, picked up a few things there, nothing crazy, and then they were just doing a little like impromptu garage sale outside this apartment complex, and I was kind of looking, and I'm like, it doesn't seem like anything's here, and this family had like a bunch of books, and then I look and I see it, and I'm like, no, and like I lift up these couple of books, like mint box for Myst, and it's like, how much? $5. Done. That's a wrap. Forget everything else I got that day. That's it. I'm good.
Nice. Good. So were you a big Myst fan growing up?
I love that game. I got it for my 13th birthday, and I was like legit blown away. I mean, we just got a new computer, like I guess that previous Christmas, I got like a computer that was like up to date. Had a CD-ROM drive. Like before that, we had the Commodore 64. So, and this was like Myst came out like 93. I think maybe 94 it came out, because I got my computer Christmas 93, and that was like a 486, right? It was like, oh, you can play Doom on it. It was like, had a CD-ROM drive and all that. And, I loaded up the game, installed it and all that, and I was blown away. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you know what? Some of the best finds just happen impromptu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can travel. You could do like a travel an hour and a half on a train, bus, and a cab to get to a garage sale you think is going to be something and nothing's there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could just be walking down the street and see an impromptu sale, right? You just see a garage sale that no one posted anything online. They're just selling stuff outside their house, and you'll find a gem. So that's happened plenty of times.
Yeah.
And that's usually so. Well, I'll tell you a quick story what happened to me over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
My cousin, this is funny. So I brought a new monitor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a big 32-inch LG monitor. So, I have a bunch of old monitors sitting around. So first of all, you can't throw in New York. We're in New York. You can't throw them out. The garbage men won't take it.
It is illegal.
Okay?
Yeah.
It is now. Yeah, garbage men. You have to recycle it. So I have no use for these old monitors. They're definitely, one monitor is like 10 years old, 15 years old, and other monitors definitely they're definitely not modern monitors, right?
Yeah, they're a little old. I mean, flat screen monitor's been around for a while, so.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to do with them, right? I have like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So
I was saying to give them up to Goodwill, worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, I can give it to Goodwill.
Donate them,
But my cousin, he's a DJ, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he's not like, I those monitors weren't for like guys like me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Techie guys, gadget guys. Like my cousin, he's not a tech guy, right? He's a DJ. He's been using an extra TV. They have an extra TV he's been using as his monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of wanted to use the TV for something else, put it in the kitchen or something. So I said, hey, I got a bunch of monitors if you want to, take them. And he's just like, awesome. Came over.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he's been to my house several times. Okay. And he came to my house. I helped him. He came in. Games all around. Shelves all around.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't pay attention. We're talking for a good 15, 20 minutes. I help him with the monitors in his car, and I tell him the same thing I tell everyone. Hey, look, if you know anyone throwing away games or anything, just give it to me. Tell them I'll take it. He was like, well, why? I'm like, because I'm a collector. And he's like, no way. And I was like, are you kidding me? You know how many times you've been to my house? So he's like, no way. So he came in and he's like amazed. He's just like, I never paid attention. He's like, I never paid attention to what was around. He's in amazement. He was in shock. He had to take video of my collection because right now I'm up to 2,200 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like 2,200 games. I literally have maybe like 30, 40 handhelds. Same thing with systems, consoles. So he has to take video. He's like taking video and he's just like laughing and he's in a maze. He's like, I know. He's like, this is like a GameStop. He's like, this is a mini GameStop. And I'm like, I have a modest collection. There are people that have 5,000, 10,000. There's a guy in Australia that has like 25,000.
Oh, at least, yeah.
And he's like, he's just shocked. He was in a maze. He was just like taking video and taking selfies. He's just like, I can't believe you were. He's like, I can't believe you're a collector. So I thought that was funny because he was just like, his jaw literally dropped when he actually paid attention to his surroundings when he came back in my house. So
that's awesome.
So that was funny.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the news, and then we'll get into our actual convo of the week, which is the rumored Game Boy Classic Mini. Mm-hmm. What games do we think should be on it? All right, let's get into the news. So Nintendo, this one under the radar, at least for me, okay? Nintendo just had their 3rd Nintendo World Championships.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. 1990.
1990 first one. 2015,
they brought
E3.
it back. And then 2017.
They brought it back. Now, I don't want this to be like an annual every year thing, but
No?
every 2-3 years maybe. I think
Why not every year? Too much?
I think it may be a little bit too much.
All right. All right.
I think it's a little bit too much.
Hmm.
I know they want to journey sort of into the esports, but sort of like fun competition. I think that's what they coined it as.
Sure,
right?
sure. I mean, that's what I think ARMS and Splatoon are supposed to be. They're like esports entries.
Yeah. So, but this is the third one. This is awesome. I'm not gonna go through all the games. First of all, they were in a smaller venue, but than they were in 2015. Well, 2015 is sort of E3 ish. So
they had the space available.
They had the bigger space, but this was just as loud and just as crazy, right? Because everyone was yelling, screaming, everyone was into it. So, and that's Nintendo. People love your games. Put out more NES and SNES classics. So I just want to go through some of the games they had. They had Zelda Breath of the Wild Shield Surfing Race.
That's pretty interesting.
That's an interesting one because I can never shield surf in Breath of the Wild. So to be an actual race, I definitely would fail that. I gotta get my skills up on shield surfing. Again, classic, timeless, never gets too old. One of Dave's top games of all time, Tetris. They had a Tetris high score run.
Yeah, man. Tetris is my jam.
Tetris is your jam. I know you love Tetris. I mean, you shut down Retro Gaming Expo playing Tetris, trying to get the high score.
Dr. Mario, but yeah.
Was it Dr. Mario?
It was Dr. Mario. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have had a much easier time with Tetris.
And then we have they had Mario Party, a Mario Party 2 minigame gauntlet. First of all, I did not watch the whole thing. It was really long, and I knew they were doing qualifiers over the summer. They didn't really, at least to me, they didn't advertise when it was actually going to happen a lot too much. They didn't do a lot of advertising for it because I knew about this after the fact.
Yeah, it was a little low key.
Yeah. So, and then they ended it with Super Mario Odyssey.
Of course. Like the last time they did Splatoon was kind of like their big thing. Like, here's this new game.
Well, that's why I said maybe they shouldn't do it every year. They should do it every couple of years when they have
like a big game. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, I mean, the first Nintendo World Championships was to pretty much promote Super Mario 3.
Right.
So it should be when they have a big game, they bring back Nintendo World Championships, and surprise, surprise, you're going to end with a special look, playing 1 or 2 levels of whatever new game is coming. So, all right, speaking of Mario Odyssey, we have our first review out. Sort of. It's still under embargo. Reviews aren't coming out. We got another week?
Comes out on the 27th. Big release Friday?
Yeah, so we got another 2 weeks for this game to come out. So it's still embargoed. Edge Magazine has delayed this month's issue because of the embargo. Because they actually, they had the game for a while and they rated the game. But it actually leaked on some store shelves.
It did. People had put this out ahead of time.
Well, which they have pulled.
Right. And Edge is typically a European magazine, I think, right? So this was over on the pond, some game store, possibly Game. I think that's their equivalent of like GameStop. Had this out on the shelves, and they had to rescind them.
But not before someone took a snapshot. And Edge Magazine gave Super Mario Odyssey gave it a perfect score, 100.
10 out of 10. Oh, 100, yeah.
They gave it 100, yeah. So right now, Metacritic has one score, perfect. So Metacritic score of perfect.
That's ridiculous.
This game is definitely going to rival Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Perfect scores, because Zelda got perfect scores, not across the board, but if it didn't get a 10, it definitely got a 9.5.
Yeah.
So I think, for the highest rated game this year, I think this will rival Zelda. So, just speaking about Mario Universe, it came out that Yoshi was originally supposed to be a horse.
Interesting.
Now, we talked about it the other day, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, that Mario in Super Mario World actually punches Yoshi in the head so he can actually
make him do the little tongue, stick out his tongue and eat the enemy. Yeah. Which I always thought that was the what he was doing, bonking him on the head.
Well, it kind of does look like he's pointing too. So it's like,
yeah.
So, But he's really punching him in the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Eat that, boom. Eat that, boom. Anyway, apparently he was originally supposed to be a horse. Miyamoto said he wanted Mario to be riding a horse when they were in development for Super Mario Brothers 3. But
so interesting.
So he's supposed to be imagine Mario on a horse. Like a funny horse. That would be so weird.
Especially now that like Yoshi's been around for like 20 plus years. I just can't envision it.
Can't envision him being a horse, a green horse or a purple horse or whatever color he was supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed to be like a regular color, like a brown, a black, or a white.
No, not for a Mario game. He would have to be like,
I don't know, a green horse. This is weird.
Well, maybe not green, but maybe he would have been like a purple horse.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yoshi the horse.
Just think about riding around on a horse in a little like cart.
Well, apparently
around like Toadstool Canyon or whatever.
Well, apparently, when they were making Super Mario World, the best game of all time, they
just gotta get that in there.
I gotta get that in there. We're talking about it, right?
Uh-huh.
They actually knew they wanted to do it in a sort of dinosaur setting, so it was natural for him to be a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So that's how they settled on being a dinosaur.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good. Let's keep with the Switch. So, in the creators from Injustice 2. They're discussing possibly bringing Injustice 2 to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
This is just another example of everyone late to the party. Listen, you should have been in development for the Switch a long time ago, but you didn't believe. You didn't believe.
Yeah,
Switch Island. Switch Island. I'm taking a boat from Vita Island.
Now wait a minute. I'm not gonna fault the developers for being hesitant because their last two consoles screamed Sega CD, Sega Saturn.
No, well, first of all, the Wii, which
the Wii was very successful, but there were not a lot of great games on the system. I mean, you got to give me that. And anything that was good came out by Nintendo.
No. I give you. I mean, Dead Space.
There were a handful of games, sure. Maybe Assassin's Creed, Dead Space, maybe the Call of Duty.
I'm not arguing that they didn't have the system was underpowered compared to its competitors.
Well, yeah, I mean they have to make a whole new version for that system,
Well, as a side note, to bring full circle, I'm playing Ghostbusters right now on PS3. They made a Ghostbusters for the Wii, which was sort of like a total, because the Wii was underpowered. They had to make it sort of cartoony-ish, so it looks sort of like a different game.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They have to spend all this R&D to make a whole new version.
So of course I had to buy that.
Yeah,
I had to buy the Ghostbusters Wii version so I could play that too. And I'm assuming, I don't know because I haven't played it yet. You use the Wii controller as like your proton pack, and you have to aim. Right, and that's gonna be horrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the Switch.
I hope I can turn that off when I actually do play it.
I think the Switch has cemented itself. It's obviously it's a firm platform. Companies other than Ubisoft are flocking to the system now, slowly, but they're getting there. So I think it's in the cards. I think it's going to happen.
So, well, they're saying that it could happen, but it may have some technical shortcomings. And my response is, you got Injustice 1 playing on the Vita.
Yeah.
Which I beat, by the way. Yeah. I don't have it. I don't have it for any other system but the Vita, and I beat it.
That's a technical feat right there, and they did it. But if Doom can come to the Switch, Injustice 2 can come to the Switch. If Wolfenstein 2 can come to the Switch, I mean,
Yeah, call Bethesda and say, hey, how you do this? How you do this? How you get this done?
We need the Game Pro tips on how to program for the Switch.
Yeah, and get
Spread
it done.
the knowledge.
So they even said they may need a third party to port it for them.
And that's
I will say
that's
this.
fair.
I will say this. For it to actually sell, it would have to come out soon. It would have to come out within the next 6 months.
You think?
And I don't know if that's possible. Well, if it doesn't, it would need something. They would need to add something to it for me to buy it again.
You could play as Mario and Peach.
Okay, I'm gonna buy it again. I'm gonna buy it again.
Boom! There it is. Come on.
Or
Justice devs, hire me. I have the ideas.
No. It would have to be because they do have DLC characters. It would have to be all the DLC characters, and you can play. You maybe not play as any, not play as any Mario characters as Zelda. But no, you know what? Put Zelda in the game. I mean, not Zelda. Link. Put Link in the game, and they can fight in sort of Nintendo like Zelda themed
like
areas
Hyrule.
or Mario. Yeah.
Fight in Hyrule.
Yeah, fighting Hyrule as Link.
They can make it work. He was in Soul Calibur 2.
He was in Soul Calibur 2. He
made
can
that
be in
work.
Injustice. He can be in Injustice too.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do that. I could deal with that. So, all right, let's switch to Sony. Let's talk about VR. So pretty much Sony had an event and they outlined the next wave of games for the PSVR, and it was over 60. It was about 60. It was over 60 games shown.
And they're all coming out in 2018.
Some coming out at the end of this year, and most of them coming out in 2018. Some of the notable games were Super Giant's Bravo Team, Bethesda Skyrim VR, and Doom VFR.
I'll give you one guess on what the F stands for.
Freaking awesome.
Close enough.
Yeah. So I've been playing Farpoint on PSVR. I put it down because I was playing Middle Earth Shadow War. Sorry. So I definitely am going to pick it up next week.
Yeah,
pick it back up next week.
Farpoint's pretty quick. You can definitely breeze through that.
So it's a good game. I had the headset on my face and it was getting hot. I haven't experienced any sort of like dizziness or anything being in the VR for so long. I would just say overheating. Like I get super sweaty, right? And I got to keep taking it off, wiping my head, wiping the lens.
No,
so
I'm with you.
So that would be my only gripe. Okay. So, but I thought it'd be fun. They have over 60 games coming out for PSVR. They really are pushing this thing now. Now that they,
they should. It's a pretty solid platform.
Well, they got the manufacturing thing sorted out, and they're pushing these things out. They sort of have They sort of have PSVR 2.0, right? The new version that makes it a little bit easier with the wires. What game would you want to see on come to VR? Any platform, any VR platform.
The game that I want to see come to VR is coming out on VR. So there you go. There's a new Penn and Teller VR experience, and they are including the Desert Bus game from the Sega CD game that came out. Or didn't come out. I don't think it ever got released.
Really?
Yeah, and it's the stupidest thing. You basically just drive from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas and then back. And every time you drive to the point, you get 1 point. And your meter just goes up. And it is a driving simulator where you just drive down the road. No obstacles, no gas to take care of, no potholes to pop your tires. You just drive. You turn a little bit to the left, turn a little bit to the right.
You threw me for a loop because that is not the game you said when we first discussed this topic.
No, but I wanted to mention that game is coming out, and I think it's fantastic. It's like the stupidest thing. They basically trolled everybody before trolling was like a big thing. They're like, yeah, here's a legit driving simulator. Not like Gran Turismo riding around in luxury sports cars and all that, and like tuning your car and all that stuff. No. Just like legit bus driving. But no.
Why don't you say the real game that we talked about?
Oh, yeah. No. 100% Metroid in VR. Come on.
Gotcha. Well, we would need Nintendo to have actual VR.
Well, I know. We didn't necessarily say like coming to the PSVR, but
no.
You want my honest opinion of a VR experience. There it is.
All right, so maybe they can make like sort of like a Metroid clone to where you're like putting a visor on, you can see
Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge VR. There we go.
In VR, right? They'd have to rework a lot of it, but that'd be awesome.
Axiom Verge Prime.
There you go. Yeah.
Not the 2D scroll.
No.
All All right, that's actually a good one. All right, so I got one. This is what I would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no good at the OG games.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Mega Man X VR.
Oh,
how about that?
Like a complete reworking? Yeah.
Right. I mean, it worked for Metroid. Speaking of Metroid, right? It went from 2D, right, to sort of like first person.
I could see a Mega Man thing, right? You're inside the visor, all the heads up displays. Sure.
I would want Mega Man X, not Mega Man, Mega Man X.
No, I think you'd have to go X. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's what I would want.
I could get down with that. You know, if Capcom could get off their butts and do something good with the Mega Man franchise, and not just let it sit there, like this is it.
So, we'll see. All right, so VR is still not really a thing yet, right? I mean, it's
getting there.
It's getting there, but there's no real killer app that's making it like a thing. Not to mention the cords. The cords are my number one issue.
Yeah.
Right. Right now, I sort of had because before I had the cords like in back of my entertainment system.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's like, okay, I want to play PSVR. I got to pull those cords out. I know they're like all tangled up. Yeah. So right now that I'm playing it, I just leave it out. Right. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't look aesthetically like pleasing.
No, it's a horrible mess. Like the new version 2 of the PSVR headset is going to fix that a little bit, but there's still some cords.
It's still going to be a long wire.
Yeah. There's still
yeah. So Facebook, Oculus,
mm-hmm.
they're trying to fix it somewhat,
mm-hmm.
right? So they announced Oculus Go VR.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cheaper version. Obviously, it'll be a downgrade from the Oculus Rift. And actually, the Oculus Rift headset will now be going forward $399. It was on sale for $399, but
mm-hmm.
now we're going forward. It will always be $399.
Right, down from
Oculus,
like $600, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was like $599. So the Oculus Go is a standalone unit. You don't need a computer. You don't need a phone, and it's the low price of $200, $199.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Zuckerberg says it's the most accessible VR headset ever. Someone should have gave him a Samsung VR.
The Gear VR, yeah.
The Gear VR,
right?
Right.
I mean, you
phone in.
Yeah. I mean, you assume you already have the smartphone.
Yeah, but true. But you don't. I will say this. You don't have to use your phone. Mm-hmm. You don't need to buy $1,000 rig, mm-hmm. right? It's standalone. It's smaller. It's Oculus Go because it's on the go.
Mm-hmm.
How powerful is it? The specs I don't think were released. I tried to find it. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, I mean,
if there were any specs on it.
Considering it's on the go, you'll probably have to charge it up via USB. The battery's probably not going to last too long. Maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I wouldn't expect it to last more than a Switch, fully powered up. And obviously it's going to be on the go. You don't have a high powered PC. It's all built in.
Well, and audio is built in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So which you can use without headphones.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. So the one thing I do know is like the head tracking isn't going to be so great, especially like at that price point. So they're kind of missing some of the features that the OG Oculus, I guess we can call it that, and the Rift have.
Well, listen, first of all, the Samsung Gear VR is like $129,
mm-hmm.
right? So this is $199. So they're sort of in a similar price range, about $70 apart.
Mm-hmm.
The Rift, if you want to play Doom VR, right? I would assume that's what the Rift is for, right? And your rig. If you're going to do practical games, or I actually don't know. There still isn't a killer app. Like
you want to play. I mean, they're all this demos and whatever.
If you want to play, maybe like a cooking simulator, maybe you can play that.
You want to play Job Simulator on the go.
Yeah, I think stuff like that can run on this, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we'll see. We'll have to get hands on with. Well, not.
I'll buy it. I actually buy it. I want to buy it. No wires. Right?
Really?
No, I would. I want to.
You're gonna wear this outside on the go, and
I'm just gonna be looking. I'm gonna. Okay, so look. 90s was my time, right? 90s.
Same. 90s was our time.
90s. Well,
90s was our time. Stop. Shut up. Get out of
Okay,
here.
LL made it popular to wear goggles on your forehead in the summertime.
Oh my god.
So I'll just put it to the side. It'll be cool. I'll bring back goggles, right?
It's a waste. I'm sorry. That is a waste. Considering you have a PlayStation 4 and the PSVR headset. And
But you know the one thing I can't do with them? I can't take it on the go.
I don't. You're killing me.
Look, I'll be on
All
the
right,
plane.
look,
I'll be on the plane, right?
you.
I can just put it. I can just put it over my my face, and I can go to sleep and watch YouTube.
I'm gonna see you walking around the Atlantic Center Mall, bumping into walls. Danny, what the hell are you doing? Oh, I'm playing Doom right now.
That'd be awesome if they had like a camera in the front, so I can play augmented reality with the world in front of me.
Yeah, right.
We'll see. We'll see what type of applications they'll have, what kind of apps they'll have for the go. So speaking of games for VR, Titanfall devs Respawn, they announced they're making a Oculus Rift VR game.
I'm excited.
We know nothing about it. We don't know a name. We don't know what type of game it is. All we know that it's not going to be Star Wars or Titanfall related.
That is very disheartening because I would love to see either.
I'm sure there's some R&D right now out. I'm sure Disney is doing some R&D on like some Star Wars type VR things. They're experimenting with it.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't they have VR content like the X-wing fighter thing for Battlefront, the first one?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they put out like the standalone thing, free DLC download. So I'll take more of that. You know, it'd be awesome flying around on an X-wing, taking down the Death Star. Come on.
Well,
that'd be a good experience. That would probably be a runner-up for me for game I want to see in VR.
Maybe you play that in your Oculus Go.
Here we go again.
I'll get you a pink one. It'll match your.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, match your 3DS.
Wow. All right. Hey, if you're buying, I'll wear it.
Well, just let's go back to Oculus Go real quick. It's like a different color. It's like a light gray. So they definitely, it stands out. It's a good color. It looks good. It's smaller. Obviously, the quality is not going to be like the Rift or even maybe even the PSVR. But I'm intrigued by it. I'm ready to jump in because I want to like put my mom. My mom used my PSVR and I said, Mom, stop moving. I know the shark is coming, but you're gonna like rip the wires out of the wall.
Yeah, the shark demo. The shark demo is the one that you got. I show everybody the shark demo.
So that's why I'm like, maybe the PS, it depends on how bad the quality is. It's like, hey, look, no wires, you can move, just don't move too far, right? Don't run into a wall.
Well, yeah. So a little quick little side note, and then we can move on. About Titanfall, or the Titanfall franchise, I should say. I know we had reported that the Titanfall mobile game was canceled, but I was on Facebook not too long ago scrolling through, and it was like Titanfall Ascension, download the mobile app now. I'm like, really? So
did you try it? Did you try to download it?
I didn't know. I don't know how much space left on my phone right now, so it wasn't about to download another gig for this game and then waste all the storage. So, I mean, it looked kind of cool. It was one of those kind of like free to play situations with the microtransactions or loot boxes, So I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Well, we'll see. We don't even know if we're gonna get a Titanfall 3 right now.
I mean, the fact that Ascension came out makes me very happy, and it could. We could see it. We could see it.
Well, it didn't sell well. They put it out to die because they put it out between Battlefield. We're
talking about Titanfall 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out like in the middle of Battlefield and Call of Duty. Yeah. So they put it out to die. So
I mean,
we'll see. I hope
reviewed real well.
It got reviewed real well. I hope we do get a Titanfall 3. How about this? Titanfall 3 VR.
Exactly.
Right? You get into the mech and then you see the visor and stuff like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man, that'd be badass.
I'll do that. They should do that. That's what they're working. You know what? I'm gonna pretend that's what they're working on.
Fair enough.
All right, let's move on. Razer make a lot of gaming related, like laptops and tablets and stuff like that. They
Razer
sort of are teasing, a big reveal November 1st, and it looks like a phone. So they could be getting into the cell phone market, and obviously it has to be gaming related, right? It would be like sort of like a gaming phone. I've never played with any of their laptops, gaming laptops or tablets. Doubt I would get into a gaming phone, right? We have the Switch. Who's this for? I mean, are you interested in this?
Well, I mean, it's funny. I am using a Razer mouse and a Razer keyboard combination.
Well, those are one. That's one thing.
Yeah,
that's one thing. I would use those, and I have used those, but I haven't used an actual laptop gaming because they come out with laptops that are like specifically for gaming, and they come out with tablets that are specifically for gaming. I can't see buying a phone that could compete with Samsung, Google, Apple. That's a gaming related phone. A phone is a different story, a different beast than a tablet or a laptop.
Let me ask you this. You own a Switch, right?
I do.
Okay. Because everybody said, "Oh, handhelds are dead." Because mobile phones
never said that.
are
I
just
never
as
said that.
powerful. No. But everybody's saying that, or they were saying that. They were saying mobile's dead, right? Or handhelds are dead because the mobile's out and it's just as powerful. It legit is and was more powerful than the 3DS, even after the 3DS came out. Like, sure, 3DS could do like 3D and it had the two screens, but very, very quickly the Apple iPhone, had more horsepower than it. And they had these beautiful games on there, right? But then people quickly realized that you can only play certain types of games on your phone because it's not engineered as a gaming device. It's just a giant touchscreen. So playing like fighting games is no good. Playing any sort of like platforming games is no good, right? So
you know what I'm addicted to on my phone, and
that?
I never put this in when I'm playing now, and I really should. Sonic Boom 2. It's like an endless runner.
Oh yeah. Okay, I didn't know they made a sequel to that. Yeah, good game.
So that's what I play when I'm on the train. Like I need something mindlessly to do. So
sure. So I don't know. Like, am I gonna go ahead and drop my Google Fi phone? My 5X and go out and buy a Razer phone? Probably not. But I mean, if it's super awesome and the price is right and it works with my carrier, and it also has like maybe like a flip out controller or something that you can play just about any game on, maybe. I'm not gonna say no until I know more info.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, listen, Amazon jumped into the phone market and quickly left the phone.
They did. Well, Microsoft did too, and they had a bunch of
Sales.
sales.
It's official. Microsoft they're done. They're done making phones.
Yeah, I mean they had some weird shit too. They had like you remember the Microsoft Kin?
Yes. Well, okay. Quick
phone.
Quick side note. Before the iPhone, okay, I was all about the Windows phones because I wanted so bad to have like a computer on the go.
Yeah.
Right. Like in my pocket. So I had the bulky phones, and then I got a Trio. So I had Palm OS.
Palm Trio, which you tried to sell to me on various occasions.
I don't remember. I got to be honest. I don't remember
did.
trying to sell. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't remember.
Because you got your new phone, and like you could have this Trio. It's already 3 years old. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I really don't remember that. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, you did. But anyway.
I don't remember. Wow.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't want to sell it. I threw it out, Matt.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I threw it out with a whole bunch of stuff a couple of years ago, which I regret now. So I had a Sidekick too, but so I had the Palm OS, and I literally remember it's clear as day. So I had my Palm OS And this is when you had things on your belt. Remember, you had a holster for everything.
Holster,
you
right?
had?
Because the phone was still huge. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the trio, and I had my iPod, and I had them all in my holster. And this is when we're working at Circuit City. And I remember saying to myself, if my iPod could just be a damn phone,
Razer laptops
I would
have
go all in
always
on Apple. And literally a week later, the iPhone was announced.
Yep. And then you're like, nope, I want this.
And I was like, I'm a prophet. I gotta get this iPhone. And then I had cracked my Sony Vaio.
Mm-hmm.
It was around the time I cracked my Sony Vaio. I love that Sony Vaio. It was like my first laptop. My mom spent like $2,500 I think on my birthday to get me that purple laptop. So I love that laptop. But I had cracked the screen, and I've had it for a long time. And then that's when I got my first MacBook, and never looked back. And I never looked back. I got my first MacBook. I got my first MacBook, and I got my iPhone 10 years ago, and I never looked back. Been an Apple head ever since.
Yeah.
So,
fanboy. Sorry.
Yeah. You need some tea? You need some tea?
I had a little something on my throat.
You definitely had a big something in your throat. You need tea. You need some tea, some halls. Just saying. Some halls.
Uh-huh.
All right. Destiny 2. I got to be honest. I picked it up. I put it down.
Of course you did, because it's a multiplayer game. I don't know why you bought it.
It has a single player component.
Obviously, it wasn't that great.
It did not bring me in, and I've been meaning to play it. I have a lot of backlog, and now that I'm playing Shadow of War and Farpoint and Pokken Tournament and Mario's coming.
Look. Even if you were into the multiplayer, it's still a major investment because that whole game is based on grinding. So
it is.
It's tough. It's just like the Division, or like World of Warcraft. Like you got to put the time in.
We still haven't went back to the Division.
No, because there's just not enough time. There's so many other games out there.
I know, but you know who loves Destiny 2? I may not love Destiny 2, but you know who loves Destiny 2? John Carpenter,
the director.
The man who made Halloween, the man who's directed Halloween, Escape from New York, and The Thing, loves Destiny 2. He said he loves this Destiny 2 thing. It's like this Destiny 2 game is like a fantasy game. He's dedicated his whole life to learning how to play Destiny 2.
Wow, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
You know who else is a big gamer? You would never guess. Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails fame.
No way.
Yeah, really? Dude, huge. There was a period of time like he was very prolific in the late 80s, early 90s, put out a lot of music, a lot of singles, a lot of content, and then just nothing. There was like a 5-year period of nothing. And apparently he fell in love with video games. Like old school retro, like stand-up arcades and Atari, and fell in love with PlayStation at the time, and he went deep into it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So this is not John Carpenter's first rodeo with games. I mean, he said he was interested in making a Dead Space movie a couple of years ago.
I would pay a lot of money to see that.
And he said he stupidly bought a copy of Aliens Colonial Marines.
That's really not something you want to put out there. Right?
So,
Alien Isolation, great. Alien versus Predator, great. Alien Colonial Marines, not so good.
Well, well, at least listen, he owned up to it, right?
Yeah.
He stupidly bought it.
It takes a big man to admit you bought Aliens Colonial Marines.
I know. All right, so let's end the new segment with just look back. Mortal Kombat officially turns 25.
Oh shit! Making us feel old.
Yeah. So I'll say this. Back in the day, it was always an argument over Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
That's right.
In arcade, Street Fighter, it was always a line, right? And I was young. I was young. I wasn't even.
You were like in your diapers, right?
I was like 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Look. If you're gonna go wildly with my age, I'm gonna take it in the other direction. That's it. You were a baby sucking on your thumb.
I listen, man. I still had a sucker. I was playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you you were basically the aftermath of a babality in Mortal Kombat 2.
There we go. There we go, Grandpa. You had your cane.
So yeah,
You had your walk-
oh, go ahead.
Well,
Go
no,
ahead.
I'm saying it was always a line for Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I knew where it was like another like candy store that had a basement that had like some arcade that was like no one everyone went back in my day, sound old. We had like a mini mall where they had a bunch of arcades. They didn't have Mortal Kombat, but they had Street Fighter, NBA Jam, a couple other things, and those were all the cool kids, all the big kids, the high school kids. They were just playing those games.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2-3 blocks down, there was like this random candy store that had like a basement that had arcade, that had like 2 arcade games.
Mm-hmm.
It had a racing game. I forgot which it was. I forgot which one it was, which was out front and center, like as soon as you go down the stairs. And then on the side, that wasn't like in front and center, it was Mortal Kombat. So that's where I fell in love with Mortal Kombat, and I was a big Mortal Kombat guy, not a Street Fighter guy. Not because I didn't love Street Fighter, because I did love Street Fighter, and I do love Street Fighter, but it was always hard to play it in an arcade
There was a
because all the cool kids, all the high school kids. I was in junior high school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the high school kids were hogging the system, so you can never get on.
Right.
So that's how I became a Mortal Kombat head.
I'm actually pretty curious. Did you guys respect the throw like a quarter up on the machine and you're next in line? Is
Yes.
that a thing? Okay, cool.
Yes,
Cool.
you lose, you move.
That's right. Next guy up puts the quarter in. Yep.
So that's you win, you keep playing. So
Yeah. I remember the first time seeing Mortal Kombat in the arcade, and I was like, what is this? I was bugging out. Right? I saw some kid doing the scorpion spear thing and people's heads getting chopped off and like split in two. I'm like, I'm in on this game.
I just love the secret lies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone was just like, hey, what was it, Mortal Kombat 3 or 2? Where it's like all those secret characters that weren't really in the game. Everyone was like, if you do this code, you could get
Oh God. I know they were like, oh, Ermac's in the game. There was no Ermac in the game.
Yeah.
And then they eventually put Ermac in the game. Later on, they're like, yeah, we're gonna put another Scorpion clone. Call him Ermac.
That was funny.
Yeah.
What was your favorite character? What was your favorite Mortal Kombat character?
My guy, Scorpion's a classic. Sub-Zero is a classic.
Well, they're all classic. What was your guy when you had to play
tough.
the game? Who would you play with?
It's tough. I like Nightwolf. I like Striker. Surprisingly.
All right. Well, while you think,
Cyrax. I don't.
Sub-Zero was my guy.
Sub-Zero.
He was my guy. I mean, I like Liu Kang.
Yeah, Liu Kang's good too.
I did play. I think I was the only guy to ever play Luke Cage because when me and my friends,
is he part of the Inhumans?
just
Luke Cage,
Johnny
Scorpion,
Cage.
Sub-Zero,
Johnny Cage.
and Luke Cage.
When my friends, we always had to pick. We said we did doubles because no one, like all the cool kids, never found this for a long time. So it would just be us. It would be like the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like, all right, so you pick 2 characters, and we pick. So if you lose, you can play again, but you got to play with the second character.
Swap it out to the other guy. Okay.
So I would play with Johnny Cage, and I would play with Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero was always my first guy, though.
Yeah. I'd probably have to say Scorpion, and Sub-Zero is probably a second for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, and then when it came out, when I actually got a Mortal Kombat 3 for the Super Nintendo, and passed the controller every time my cousins, Thanksgiving, Christmas, anybody came to my house, it was always pass the controller when it came to Mortal Kombat. We loved Mortal Kombat. I loved Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Winner stays, loser has to pass.
So anyway, let's get into our convo of the week. So recently there was a patent discovered. I think it was in Japan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't over here in the US for sort of like a Game Boy Classic.
Yep, there was a Twitter that's, I guess it scours for new patents, and it'll just post them up. via Twitter, and it's a possibility that a Game Boy Classic is in the works.
So we thought it'd be fun to come up with 20 games, 10 games apiece, of our mystical, magical Game Boy Classic. What games should it have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into that, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be along the lines of the NES Classic, Super Nintendo Classic, handheld, or sort of like a home console hybrid that you can hook to the TV? What do you think?
Can't be any of that. It's got to be
handheld.
Well, I mean, based on what they did with the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, obviously, like, you're going to update it for modern TVs, so HDMI out, and you throw a USB-C thing on there for the power. Like, that all makes sense. But, I mean, Nintendo original controller, Super Nintendo original controller, it has to be a handheld. Has to be
Gotcha.
OG authentic, yeah.
Okay, well, there are a lot of rumors out there. We don't know. This may just be a pipe dream. Companies put out patents all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this may just be a pipe dream.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. This may be smoke and mirrors, right? They may be coming out with the N64 Classic, which we will do our dream games for the N64 Classic at a later date.
Oh, of course. I bet you dollars to donuts, if not next year, the year after, N64 Classic.
Well, if the Game Boy Classic comes out next year,
Mm-hmm.
then definitely the 2019 holiday, it would be the N64. It would be time for the N64 Classic.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So, you want me to go first? You want to go first?
No, kick it off.
All right. Well, you got to bring in the classics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I loved my Game Boy when I got it as a kid.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't have a lot of games for it. I did not have a lot of games for it. Some of the games, I mean, you have. I'm not spoilers. You have a classic game on your list.
Of course. I mean, that's
so
legit. Like, F everything else in the entire world. Like, legit, there is one game that you need for the rest
if you're gonna
of
have
your
a Game Boy Classic.
No.
No.
I mean anything. F every other gaming system, every other type of game. F board games, card games, PC games, doesn't matter. There's one game that you need in your entire life. I'll say that.
Okay.
And that's on my list.
That's on your list.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So on my list, Super Mario Land.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Great. It's a great platformer on the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had that game.
It's a launch title.
It was a launch title. I didn't get it at launch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got the Game Boy at launch. But I got the one game that everyone gets.
Yeah, the packet.
But I didn't get that. I didn't get a game for a while other than the packing game.
Mm-hmm.
But I did eventually get Super Mario Land. Great game. You got to have Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins.
Sure, even better, bigger and better.
And Wario Land / Super Mario Land 3.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I beat that game not too long ago. My coworker
really?
gave me his collection for a good price, and I was like, I never played Wario Land. It's really good.
So I do have all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have an original Game Boy. Unfortunately, I don't have my original Game Boy.
I still got mine.
Well, I left the batteries in mine.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
And 8 years later, when I looked at it, it definitely had battery rot. So I had to buy a new Game Boy. You got to have all 3 Donkey Kong Land games.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny how everything for the Game Boy was called Land.
Yeah.
Okay? Mario Land, Donkey Kong Land.
Kirby's.
So Kirby's Dream Land, which is also on my list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's recap. So I got all Super Mario Lands, that's 3. I got all 3 Donkey Kong Lands, that's 6. Kirby's Land, Kirby's Dream Land, that's 7.
Mm-hmm.
I got Paperboy.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Paperboy. I really liked Paperboy, and maybe it's just nostalgia talking because I didn't have a lot of games for the Game Boy, so you make it work.
I'm not gonna knock your Paperboy. That's fine. I may not have the same love that you do for that game, but You know.
Well, when that's like one of 4 games you have, period.
Right. You're gonna
make it work.
think fondly back on it. That's right.
So,
That's right.
I played the crap out of Dr. Mario.
Oh,
and
hell
again, this was my parents not knowing what this was. They just saw Mario and said, "Oh yeah, it's a Mario game." Right. So they didn't know this was sort of like a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always funny because I was like, "This isn't Mario," and they were like, "Well, yeah, it's Dr. Mario." And I'm like, "This is a puzzle game."
Yeah, that's when you're like, Mom and Dad, I know you're trying, but
it was same thing with Super Mario the RPG.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Right.
I never forget that. They was like, "Hey, I got your new Mario game." I was like, "Yes, wait, this is not Mario."
Yeah. What are all these new characters?
Yeah. And then lastly, I got to say this.
But not least. Come on now. But
not lastly, but not least, if they're going to put out the remake of Metroid 2, you got to put out the OG one, Metroid 2 Return to Samus. You got to do it.
I agree. After all your hemming and hawing that last few episodes ago, you're like, Metroid 2 is no good, but
I still feel that way. Okay, let's get this crystal clear.
I think you made it crystal clear a while ago. I was just letting people know.
We're gonna make it shiny crystal clear. Okay. I don't think the system's gonna come out. I don't think anybody really wants to play a handheld game in just green and white because that's what it looks like. Okay, if it does come out, I think these are the games that you need to have on it. I just don't think people are going to buy it. Collectors are going to buy it, but I don't think this is going to be a practical thing where people are actually going to be playing this like they actually play the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. That's all I'm saying.
Do you want to make a Shake Shack bet on this?
No, because Nintendo. No, because Nintendo is crazy
coming
enough
out. Then boom. I know you. You will make a bet when you know you're right. This system is coming out.
I feel that I'm right.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because you would make that bet.
No, that's for me. Not goading me.
That is a $10 bet. It is a $10 bet.
You are not goading me. You're not goading me. Nope. Not gonna take the goat. Not gonna take the bait.
So you know it's coming out because you know it's coming out. That's the whole thing. You will not make a bet. You will not make a bet. You will not make a bet. You know you're gonna lose on. So there you go.
They were crazy enough to put this out. And I think they're wrong. I don't think they should. They can put this on Virtual Console when it actually.
Where is the Virtual Console?
Well, it's coming out next year. It's coming out next year. They said it, 2018.
I don't care what they said. Nintendo Nintendo's online and their infrastructure and this whole thing with the Switch is garbage. There's nothing there. There's barely anything there.
Yet, because they haven't put it out. Right. They will next year. So, well, anyway, all right. So what are your games? You're
missing some games. And I don't want to throw shade in your list because it's a pretty good list.
You can. I can only pick 10.
Pretty good list. 10. Well, the Donkey Kong Land games in Paperboy.
Listen. Leave my paperboy alone, boy.
I mean, you graciously gave this one to me, but I was going to take it anyway. And we always because
I knew how much of a fan you were.
We always make sure on these lists to not duplicate entries because that's not fun. Because then we basically have we'd have the same 10 games more or less.
Well, with the exception of like 1 or 2, yes.
Right. How can you not have? Again, I was saying before, the only game you ever need in your entire life is a copy of Tetris for the Game Boy. Right? Desert Island game.
That was the killer app
for the rest of eternity. It still is the killer app. Like, the game is infinitely replayable. The controls are tight, right? Everything about that game is just perfect, right? You have an A mode, you have a B mode, you have 3 different types of music, and 9 different levels of speed. That's all you need. That's all you need. Tetris, right? But we're here to pick 10. So I needed to pick 9 more games on the list. And I couldn't just put Tetris 9 more times.
But you wanted to.
I did. I'm like the Tetris. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. Might as well get the one with the extra level. Why not? Pokemon Red and Blue, right? definitely going to be on the system.
You can't have a Game Boy. You can't have a Game Boy Classic without Pokemon games.
Right. Now, they did also make Pokemon Yellow, but that's essentially, if I recall correctly, it's the same as the other ones with the exception of you can have Pikachu as your starter, so I didn't put that on the list. There's no need. Mario Picross. Thought that could make the list. It's a weird puzzle game where you kind of chip away at a board to figure out what the puzzle is. It's interesting. Kid Icarus of Myth and Monsters. I threw that on there. It's the second entry in the Kid Icarus franchise. And it would be a, like another 20 years before they put another Kid Icarus game out. All right?
God, wow. Really, that's true. Wow.
Yeah. Like everyone thought it was dead in the water, and then they're like, "Hey, you remember Kid Icarus from back in the day? Here's another game," and it did really well. So throw that on there. A little bit of nostalgia, but I mean, it's a solid game. Put Alleyway on there, which is basically a Breakout clone, but it was a launch title. Does have like Mario. Mario's in the thing, and the bonus stages are all Mario themed. So I threw that on there, and then you can't not put the 3 Final Fantasy Legend games on the system. You have to.
You and this Final Fantasy. I am not surprised you put the Final Fantasy.
They're good, man. They're really good. You know.
Look, if again, 10 games, the Mario Lands, the Donkey Kongs, the Final Fantasies. Even though I think they would avoid, honestly, I think they would. It probably wouldn't be 20 games, and they would probably avoid putting a lot of like doubles in there, right? So I'm just going on past experience with the NES and the
sequels and whatnot.
Yeah, they probably would put Super Mario Land 2 in there, right? Mm. They probably would put that in there. They'd probably pick one Donkey Kong, even one Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah,
I think the only thing that they would put sequels on would be the Pokemon games. So they would put Red and Blue.
Right.
So. I think it would be less than 20 games, to be honest with you. If they did it, it'd probably be like more like 15. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to do this, but they are crazy enough to do this. And I would be right there day one buying it, just like everyone else.
Of course, I know exactly.
Gotta have it for your collection, man.
Look, you seem to be a little bit sour on it. It is a good move, and they will make tons of money off of it. I guarantee. Even if it's just the collectors who pick it up, every collector is going to want it. All right, that about does it. Episode 90 in the books. Just want to mention that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. You can grind or not grind. You can grind or not grind. Sorry. I had to bring it back. So please please listen, like, and subscribe.
And as always, keep gaming.
Grind or not grind.